Welcome back, YouTube, Instagram, wherever this video is being played. I'm Cece, and this is Storytime with Cece. I've been telling you guys that this week we're going to be talking about domestic violence, and the reason why I wanted to talk about domestic violence is because it's such a big problem in Utah. It's a big problem all over the country, and no one seems to get it. No one wants to talk about it. We don't really have survivors telling their stories. I haven't seen a lot of that. I've seen some bits and pieces, but we need to be a little bit more open, in my opinion. Not saying that everyone needs to share, because it could be hard. PTSD and CPTSD is a hard thing to deal with, and it's a hard thing to work through. So we're going to talk about the time I was held captive by my abuser. So my abuser found me on the side of State Street. I was going through withdrawals on a bus bench, and he found me. He took me to a house, and like all of his friends lived there and stuff, and it was kind of weird. It was a really nice house, though. So I wasn't complaining because I was homeless. I wake up and I kind of freaked out because he was there, but his friends were there. And I trusted them. Even though they hated me because I was on drugs, they hated me. They called me names. And you know what? That's fine. You can hate me, but thank you for being there when I needed protection. And you guys probably saved my life. So he kept me at this house. He brought his mom over to come and visit me and to see what was going on. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to get sober. I didn't want to deal with him. But again, he's my attacker, and I was scared for my life. So I'm not going to agitate the situation anymore because I was going through withdrawal, and I don't want to deal with violence as I'm going through heroin withdrawal. He went through my bags that I had because I had bags with me. He took my phone. He took my phone battery. He took the SIM card from my phone and deleted all of my contacts. I get it. He was trying to help me get sober, but he's my abuser and I didn't feel safe there. So he told me, this is probably going to get really graphic. He's like, you're going to stay here with me. You're going to sleep with me. Having sex is a good way to stop the heroin withdrawals. It was just terrible. It's overall just graphic. And I've never really sat down and spoken about it because of how bad it was. It comes back in my mind sometimes, it's happening now. It's pretty insane. I've never, this has never happened in my life. But he kept saying that, and so he would constantly shower with me, be in the bathroom with me. I couldn't leave or use the bathroom alone. I'm going through withdrawal, so I have severe diarrhea. He's in that bathroom watching to make sure I don't leave out the window. That's how bad it was. So he starts getting high on meth. And he is it's so bad. He's hearing things, he's seeing things, he's hallucinating. He thinks that I'm out to get him. So he would choke me, put his hand around my neck, and he would tell me you better not be doing anything. You better not be conspiring against me. And it was just all of this crazy talk. And I was like, no, I'm not. And he didn't really punch me or anything. It was just a scare tactic. So after that, I tried to leave, but it didn't work. I left the back door, I think it was. I went out some weird fucking side door, and I was trying to leave with my bag, and he ran up behind me, grabbed me by my hair, and pulled me back into the house. No one was home. Everyone was at work. And so he pulled me back inside the house, and I couldn't leave. I asked him if I could call a family member to bring me food and toilet paper, Like, I was just making up the biggest, like, excuses for anything to get a family member to know where I'm at. Okay. And this is like, this house that I'm at, it's legitimately in the same city I grew up in. Fucking sad, right? So there is like, it's so bad. Like, I called my grandpa and told him, hey, I'm trying to get sober. Can you come and bring me some Gatorade and toilet paper? So my grandpa comes after work and drops off Gatorade and toilet paper. He's talking to me, he's talking to the abuser, and he just doesn't know what's really going on. No one knew because he was so good at hiding it, and his scare tactics were so intense and so much that I was scared that he would hurt my grandpa. I was scared that he would hurt the strongest person that I knew in my family. That's why, like, when it came to this person, as crazy as it sounds, I trusted gang members over police officers because I know that he felt no remorse if he would have hurt one of those officers. And I wouldn't have wanted to see that. So my grandpa doesn't think anything's up. And then my stepdad comes over and he tells me he's trying to get an apartment because he just left his ex-girlfriend. Okay, let's do that. So I'm telling him, like, yeah, let's go look at apartments together. Let's go look at apartments together. We were looking at apartments together and we finally found one. And I told my abuser I'm leaving and not to contact me ever again. I'm moving in with my stepdad as soon as I can to stay sober. And he didn't really like that. So he like freaked out, went and smoked a shit ton of meth with some tweaker next door, came back, started threatening me, started doing all the terrible things. So then the day finally comes when I leave. My stepdad had the apartment. We had air mattresses for the apartment because we're starting from scratch all over again. And if some of you don't know me, I've started from scratch my entire life. At least every 5 years, start from scratch. It's weird. But I packed up my bag as he was asleep because it's like 12:30 in the afternoon and he's already crashed out because of how high he was. So I packed up my bag and I left. I left to never look back because I never wanted to see that. I took just my bag and my phone. I didn't have a SIM card, didn't have a battery, just had an empty cased phone. I get all that and I make it to my stepdad's, or I'm starting to walk down the street and I get to these tracks, trains, like crossings, and I turn around and he's behind me, running. So I start running. And then he's screaming at me. And I'm almost to this Maverick. And he starts screaming at me, you stop, stop, come back. I stopped. Like an idiot, I stopped. So I told him, I said, this is it. I said, this is me taking back my life. You do you. You need to leave me alone. Never again will you lay your hands on me. Never again will you hold me captive. Because right now I am free and this is as free as I felt. And I told him if I have to stand on these tracks trains and wait for the train to come and tell him how bad of a person he is and how he can no longer hurt me, if it's me, like my life, right? If it's like him taking me again or getting hit by a train, it would be the train. So he let me go. He didn't want a big scene. And I'm not saying go off and off yourself or do anything crazy like that. But abusers don't want a big scene. They don't want you to cause a scene. Sometimes when you're in public and if your abuser is as private and manipulative and corrupt and narcissistic and insane as mine, you might have to just make a scene for that amount of time. Just make a scene. That's it. That's how I escaped. That's how I did it. I'm Cece, and thank you. Thank you for listening to my story. This was Storytime with Cece.